Welcome back to High Hope Sportscast. I'm here with my co-host JJ, and my name is DJ. How is it going tonight, JJ?
Wow, another great entry to another great show. I just want to thank you for having me, DJ, and let's thank all the viewers, listeners, subscribers out there that are giving us a follow. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We break a lot of news, so back to you, buddy.
All right. The first thing you're gonna have to kind of cover, as I've stated before, I don't really watch the Pro Bowl very much anymore. It's just kind of gotten bad over the years. So, but what NFL show would we be if we don't cover the Pro Bowl at least a little bit? So, here we go. The AFC took it 41-35. I don't remember how many times have the AFC won it in a row now. I know there's a streak going there, JJ.
I believe it's 4 straight seasons. I'm not 100% sure myself, but
I wanted to say 6, but I don't know.
Oh, maybe it is that many. It sounds a little more accurate. But the game was a flop. It was 28-21 at halftime, and the NFC didn't even score a point in the third quarter. So at the end of the third, it was 41-21, and NFC came back strong, scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to make it look like a game. But the NFC being down by 20 points in the third ended up passing the ball 54 times. And Kyler Murray led the way, 18 for 27 with 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. The NFC threw 4 interceptions, 2 are from Russ Wilson. The AFC threw the ball 38 times. And the big MVP of the game was Justin Herbert, 7 for 11, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Nice. I did hear that today, that Justin Herbert was the MVP. So that's good to see. I like Justin Herbert a lot.
Yeah, it's good to. They ended up Diggs ended up getting Stephon Diggs threw 1 pass for 15 yards. So they were doing some of that brotherly love out there on the field with Trayvon lining up on offense for the NFC. While Stephon Diggs was playing cornerback for the AFC. And I tell you what, them boys can play some ball, both sides of the ball. I still wish we had Diggs. Wouldn't that be awesome to team him up with the Jet?
Yeah, but I mean, in reality, we got Jet in return of Diggs, so you can't have your cake and eat it too. I guess if you want to put it that way. So you can't have them both.
Yeah, I just think that for the rushing statistics, guess what the total NFC rushing yardage was for the day? 1 yard.
What?
1 yard rushing for the day. 8 carries, 1 yard. Jet had 7 yards, but there was negative yards from Deebo Samuel and Jeremy Grant Sr. So, and then on the flip side, it just 21 carries, 52 yards, and Stephon Diggs did get that rushing touchdown. So, I don't know. Like, there ain't much to mention here. I wanted to mention the turnover factor, though. Like I said, the NFC passed 4 interceptions. Murray, Wilson, 2. Cousins had 1. And the AFC had 3. Mac Jones had 1. Herbert had 1. And Patty Mahomes had 1. I don't know, DJ. If it just, when you're watching this game, I'm thinking this can't be real. And Pat McAfee went on his show and was basically saying, if this is an embarrassment to the NFL, and a few other superstars come out and said that the practices look harder than their two-hand touch, because at times, DJ, I mean, what do you think of that? Two-hand touch, they're basically hugging guys, and there was hardly any tackling at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just see, I don't know. It just gotten to the point where it's not like the actual game. They don't even try. They just kind of lollygag out there. And I mean, I can see why they don't really want to get hit hard, just because of the simple fact that it's not really a game that matters. I mean, it is for the pocketbook, I guess, a little bit, because the winner gets more than what the loser does, but it doesn't. It ain't gonna. You're already out of the Super Bowl, so what? I mean, what's the point of even trying in this game? And then to risk getting hurt, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they should just get rid of the actual Pro Bowl game and just have the dodgeball and the precision passing, all those competitions for maybe the week, like it is the week before the Super Bowl. Just keep everything the same. Just take the actual Pro Bowl game itself out of the equation, because it's just not. It's not what it used to be. It's not really entertaining to watch anymore, and that's the reason why I haven't watched it in 3-4 years now. So
yeah, DJ, I have to agree with you. I just want to take a step back and kind of compare this to the NBA All-Star game.
Yep.
The MLB All-Star game in baseball and the NHL All-Star game. Now, NBA for a while there was kind of a joke too. But this NFL's the last couple years, it's just unbearable, and it's nothing that. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see all the All-Stars together, but let's play football for at least a half, show off some a little bit. But, back in the day in the MLB side, that the winner of the All-Star game determined home field advantage for the World Series. So that made it a lot more interesting for the All-Stars going into that weekend. So, and then the NHL now has done hybrid tournament style, and it's similar to what the NBA is doing on the Rising Stars Challenge, rookies versus sophomores. They're going to have 4 teams, and they had all these executives or ex-players draft teams up, and they're going to do a round-robin tournament on All-Star Weekend for NBA. So maybe take it away 11 versus 11, maybe make it more of a passing style, because that's what they seem to want to do, is just throw it up anyways. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, like I said, we should just get rid of it. I mean, like you said, the NBA All-Star game, that actually it's not what it used to be there either, but I think it's more entertaining than the Pro Bowl. I mean,
Oh yeah.
they all it is just, people throwing alley oops the whole game and trying to dunk, and the defense don't even give a rat's butt and just lets people fly by them for 360 windmill dunks, and it just, I don't know. To go on the NBA side of it, our boy Karl Anthony Towns was just announced that he'll be in the 3-point contest.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. I'll watch that.
Right.
And I know, in addition to that, Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels both will be in the rookie sophomores game too. So I don't know if they both got on the same team or not. I know Isaiah Thomas drafted Anthony Edwards #1 overall.
Oh yeah, nice. So then moving on to the next topic here, it's a little I don't know, kind of touchy too, but we hate to see this. Alvin Kamara arrested in Las Vegas. That's where the Pro Bowl was. JJ has the info on this, but I just want to say one thing here. With all the stuff that Las Vegas Raiders went through with the Henry Ruggs, the Arnett, and I don't remember if there was another thing or not, and now Alvin Kamara. I don't think that Las Vegas is a very good spot for NFL players to be. I don't know. It's just looking like really living up to its nickname, Sin City, especially for NFL players. This is not a good story. I'll bring it. I'll put it over to JJ for this.
Yeah, thanks, DJ. This is a sad story about a really good running back, a 5-time Pro Bowler. He didn't quite have the numbers compared to the amount of touches he got last year with New Orleans, but I'll dive right into it. There was an incident at an elevator in a Las Vegas nightclub that was in the casino. And guess what time it was, DJ? 6:30 a.m.
Oh, really? I was going to say like 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah, they had their Alvin Kamara had his entourage with some girls and his main girl, and they were all getting into the elevator. And some dudes were coming up, being mouthy and making wisecracks at his girl. So Alvin Kamara stiff arms this dude, and it's on. And all of a sudden you see there are 8 roundhouses to the victim's face, and it smashed his orbital bone eye socket. That was the worst thing that happened. And when he went down and kind of got into a little ball, somebody of his crew, when Seth Rollins does that stampede on the guy's head in wrestling or something like that, they call it a stomp.
Yeah.
The guy got stomped 16 times, according to Shannon Sharp on Undisputed this morning.
Jeez.
So all this happened. 6:30 a.m. They obviously everybody scrambled out of there, and he was charged with felony battery. And it sounds like he's going to be suspended by the NFL. He's going to be sued by the victim, and they're not going to go easy on him. He might serve maximum 5 years in prison for this incident.
Yeah, that's what I saw too, and I didn't see any of the pictures or anything of the victim until about I don't know, just a couple hours ago, and it just, like you said, it's just a sad story. I mean, getting into a fight is one thing, but to go that extreme, it's nonsense. These NFL players needed to get under control. I mean, they make millions of dollars and they just think that they rule the world, and it's so sad and so frustrating, to be honest. I hate seeing this. When I heard about this story, it's a little different, but it kind of brought back memories to what happened with Kareem Hunt back in the past.
Oh yeah. Who was the running back from Baltimore that had this happen to him and then they completely canceled him from the league?
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. Oh, that was totally caught on camera.
Hmm.
But don't you think, regardless of gender, this whooping he put on this poor victim over trying to get on an elevator and said something snappy to his girlfriend, is it really worth it?
No, it's not. I mean, now he's in jail. He should be sitting for 5 years. That foolish act could have just cost him, obviously years of his life in jail, but he could never see an NFL field again.
DJ, he just signed a 5-year, $75 million contract in 2020. What are you thinking? You're an all-pro running back you're the face of the franchise now.
Right, now the breeze is down. You're literally the best player on the team. I mean, other than Michael Thomas, but
we talked about this so much, even since we started doing the show, DJ. How many times have we had to mention something like this?
Yeah, way too many than we should be.
I know it's. I just want to make one point. It's what are you doing at 6:30 a.m. still up? Obviously, you've been partying, and then you're gonna go show up half lit up to a Pro Bowl game that's in the afternoon about 6-7 hours later. It's like, where are your priorities?
Right.
And like Shannon Sharp said, is he going to apologize and claim he has a problem now because of this incident? I don't know, but I just hope the guy can straighten up.
Yeah, I mean, the Kareem Hunt thing, he was suspended and whatnot. I don't remember exactly what everything entailed, but I mean, look at him now. As far as I know, he turned himself around. And now he's, back in the NFL, and he's one of the two-headed monster back in Cleveland with Nick Chubb. So,
yeah, I mean, Kareem Hunt that's a good example, DJ. He really did. I mean, he's played well for the Browns. I mean, there was no doubt he had the talent to play football. Same with Alvin Kamara. There's no doubt he's talented. But maybe there's more to the story. You just don't know the whole story because we weren't there. But
right,
what Shannon was explaining is just disheartening and really sad.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like we said, we don't know the whole story, but I want to, even though we're not that big of a show or anything, but just in case, my prayers and thoughts go out to the victim's family, and hope he heals fine and ends up being okay. So
yeah, I send my prayers and thoughts to the victim. I send my prayers and thoughts to Alvin Kamara too.
Yeah, hopefully he can find his way and and turn himself around.
Yeah,
and hopefully we don't have to report on anything else like this. Hopefully ever again, but
anytime soon. Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to kind of our Vikings segment here, as we are Vikings fans and from Minnesota. This is kind of cool. I saw a post on Facebook. I sent it to JJ right away. Justin Jefferson says he has high hopes with the new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, once he comes here sometime after the Super Bowl. like JJ said, is he a avid viewer or watcher?
Is he a secret listener?
That would be sweet. Well, Jefferson, if you're secretly out there watching, listening, come on, come on the show. We'll love to have you as a guest.
Especially, I know you did tweet at him a few times, DJ. So maybe he got that from the tweet.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure setting up the live shows here. I think on Twitter, I actually I tagged him as well as we were gonna talk about him here. So it's possible.
It's very plausible too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jefferson said he's got high hopes and he's excited. It'll be, I believe, his first offensive minded coach in his career. I don't know if that's including college or not as well, but he's definitely excited, and I would look, now that we're going to have an offensive minded coach, I'd look for even more success out of Justin Jefferson this year. And then that kind of leads us into our next topic here is there's a rumor saying that Vikings should restructure Kirk Cousins' contract and extend him, kind of stretch out that $45 million that's left into signing bonuses. And I don't know how many years they said. I don't know if they said that or not. But
I'll intervene quick. That was for 4-year extension, and they want to give him a base salary of $25 million a year and put the $30 million into signing bonus, going 5, 5, 10, and 10 over 4 years. What do you think? I mean, honestly, DJ, what do you want to do with Kirk?
Man, I don't know. I feel like we've been asking ourselves this, even before the season even ended. At this point, I mean, I would love to see him traded.
Yeah.
But on that hand, I don't really know, because you never know who we're gonna get to replace him. So it could backfire on us, and the guy that we get to replace him could be even worse. So that's where I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, it looks like once O'Connell comes in here, he's worked with Cousins in the past in Washington. So I think that Kevin O'Connell has already kind of expressed that he's excited to get over here and to work with Cousins. So that kind of, I don't know, it kind of tells me already that he's planning on keeping Kirk and just trying to, figure out a different way to restructure his contract. And it looks like there's already a rumor that they've got some plans to figure that out. So if I had to guess, Cam has probably been, kind of planning for different scenarios, and this probably is one, and he's kind of coming up with possibilities or solutions to each outcome. So this might be straight from Cam. He could already figure this out if that's what coach wants. So I don't know. If like you said last episode, it's the Mike Zimmer effect and Rick Spielman. So I don't know. Maybe I'm all wrong about Kirk Cousins this whole time, and maybe it's just coaching. Maybe Kevin O'Connell comes in and Kirk Cousins is just, I don't even know how to explain it, but just 100 times better than what he has been. Maybe it's just coaching.
Well, I got 3 things, DJ. I think that right now the 3 options are, first off, can we trade him? Jimmy Garoppolo's tendering a first-round draft pick right now, and he's got a $25 million cap hit. If we trade Kirk Cousins, we're on the hook for $10 million. So I think the viable option is I would like to see the Vikings, if they're going to move on him, sign and trade. Sign him to change up the contract. Like we said, that $25 million. I guess he's looking for somewhere around 3 years, $103 million. So I don't think he's worth $45 million, DJ. But
No,
I don't know.
either.
Like we talked about, like you just said, what is it? The Zimmer effect? What is O'Connell going? Our old lineman that comes on Score North basically said, expect a new innovative offense. Compare Cooper Kupp stats to Justin Jefferson's probable stats. Doesn't that excites me? Is Kirk the guy to do it?
I don't know.
The other option is to extend him, DJ, like we just kind of mentioned.
Which I think at this point, I think that's what's actually going to happen. If I had to be totally honest, to make an honest guess, just the stuff I've been hearing and reading, I think that Kirk will get extended. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't come back and bite us. And I just hope that having an offensive-minded coach and one that's already worked with Kirk in the past, I just hope that is an advantage. And I just hope O'Connell can come in and turn this, not only this whole team around, but this offense. And, and hopefully he, I don't know if he's going to be the decision maker on his offensive coordinator, but that leads us to our next thing is, Eric Bieniemy, the OC for the Chiefs. He didn't get a job. All the teams have hired coaches. He didn't get a job. He did interview for the Saints job, but he didn't get it. But I heard today his contract is up.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on possibility of Eric Bieniemy coming to Minnesota to be Kevin O'Connell's offensive coordinator?
Wow, I would be excited. It just somehow it always matriculates or trickles back to who's going to be the quarterback. I mean, Bieniemy had to work with one of the best, probably a top 3 all-time already in Patrick Mahomes. And I'm saying it there. He's top 3 already. Give Mahomes another, I don't know how many years he signed in KC, but he owns dang near the whole town now.
Literally, he's a part owner of the Kansas City Royals and part of the Kansas City soccer team. So literally owns.
Literally. But Eric Bieniemy would be great. He's a running back. He played for the Chargers back in the day. Why not a good, solid coach that learned from Andy Reid, one of the best offensive minds in the game, who's been to how many Super Bowls already in his career? Would there be a disconnect between Eric Bieniemy and Kevin O'Connell? I don't think so. I really would like to see them give him an opportunity or at least give him an interview. He's got a lot of good ideas, I'm sure. But why is it? He kind of reminds me of on the defensive side of the ball, Mike Zimmer. He could never break through getting a head coaching job until the Vikings allowed him to be the head coach. So I don't know what Bieniemy wants or is asking, or is he just not ready to be an offensive coordinator? Or maybe he's really happy in Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I don't know how many years he's had interviews for head coaching jobs, but he's all in the beginning of the playoffs, off seasons. The last couple of years at least, he's been a hot name right away. like, oh my God, we got to go get Eric Bieniemy. But then as time goes on, his name kind of faints off into the distance. What is it? What's up with this guy? Why is he not getting a head coach job? Is he really not that good of an interviewer, or is it? I just don't understand it. I want to know what the deal is with Bieniemy. Obviously he's a very good offensive coordinator, but why can he not get a head coach job? It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I'm kind of baffled on that one too, DJ. But I was going to mention on the flip side of the Vikings OC, for the Vikings DC, we've targeted 5 guys. And the first guy we targeted was Don Wink Martindale, and he's a defensive coordinator for the Ravens. And now, as of today, he was hired for the New York Giants position as a defensive coordinator out east. And then there's Anthony Weaver was working for Baltimore. He was a D coordinator at Houston. Aubrey Pleasant, who's a up and coming young coach for the Detroit Lions. He specializes in the pass game coordinator and the cornerback specialty. And just today we interviewed Sean Desai, the Chicago Bears defensive coordinator. He's a real hot commodity. He's interviewed with the Raiders, who our boy Patrick Graham, who interviewed with the Vikings, ended up taking the D coordinator job out in Las Vegas. And Mike Penton is the favorite to be the DC in Minnesota. He was a Browns head coach, and his last job was with DC with the Packers, and a special defensive coordinator assistant with Sean Desai in Chicago this past season. Are there any names that you would think that you'd want to see get the job, DJ?
I mean the Mike Pettin thing, that I think that would be a good hire. And I thought there was another one, but I don't remember. The other ones I don't really know their names, to be honest. But I do know Mike Pettin because he was, I kind of remember him mostly from being a Browns head coach.
Yeah.
And then I do know that he was on the Packers staff as well. So he is a good coach. I wouldn't mind him coming over here, take that job. So
you know what they all have in common, DJ? They all run the base 3 down lineman, 4 linebacker, 4 secondary base defense. And right with Mike Zimmer, we were running a 4 down lineman, 3 linebacker, 4 secondary, cover 2 base system for our defense. So that excites the heck out of me. If we're going to, dude, the possibilities are endless with this team. As a Viking fan, I don't want to get my fandom in the way, but just as a regular guy looking at these opportunities for this whole new spectrum of a team, there are major changes coming to the Minnesota Vikings. And it just, on both sides of the ball, just think if we land Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator, DJ. You just think of all the trick plays that Mahomes or Andy Reid Mahomes did with Bieniemy, all that he knows, his knowledge.
But on the other hand, like you said, he did have Patrick Mahomes. Kirk Cousins is by far not Patrick Mahomes. So
there you go.
It
facts.
You could, take Bieniemy and put him with us, and he could absolutely suck. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be just he has the right players for the right coordinator, for his right playbook, and who knows? But it would be pretty shocking and pretty interesting. I would like to see how it goes. And for when you said that the fandom thing and getting excited about these big changes. I'm not excited yet, to be honest.
Oh, DJ, come on, man.
Just hear me out here, though.
Okay.
This is Minnesota Vikings.
True.
The land of letdown. So, I like our show, High Hopes. I'm not going to get my hopes up high until I see some results. So, I'm not letting my guard down and going to get too hyped up about all these big changes and then have it go straight down the drain right away. It's how many years of just failing and not seeing the good results. That's the kind of fan it's turned me into. So once I see the results, then I'll start being excited.
Cheer up, Buttercup. It's gonna be it's gonna be so far away from the Mike Zimmer effect. It's gonna be so far. If we follow in the Rams' offensive footsteps, it's just like I said, DJ comes back to who's gonna play QB.
Yeah, and it's like they said, it's not gonna be an overnight fix. It ain't gonna be I don't even see it being a 1-year fix. I mean, we got a brand new head coach. He's never been a head coach. We have a brand new GM. He's never been a GM.
Yeah.
So we have two guys in there that have never been in the roles that they are now. So for us to get super good results our first year with them, I would be beyond shocked. So this first year with them, I'm not going to say that I'm not expecting much, but I'm not expecting to blow the doors off and say, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl, or not. I'm not even saying we're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying that we won't either, but it just comes down to, it's both their first years ever being in these positions. So they are good guys. They are good, people in the positions they have had in the past, but it's a different ball game, different organization, different positions, different responsibilities. So we'll see how they go up against all that and with all that stuff on their shoulders. So that's kind of where my brain is for this coming season.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was also going to tell you, DJ, the Vikings snatched the Curtis Modkins. I've never really heard of the guy till today. He is the running backs coach that was way back in the day coaching Jamal Charles and Larry Johnson, and has been working with the Broncos staff the last few seasons with the likes of Javonte Williams, the rookie running back this year. And Jamal Charles was another one that they mentioned. But that kind of excites me too. We got a new running backs coach coming in for Delvin and
Madison.
Alexander Madison, yeah. And it sounds like the fullback position in O'Connell's offense might be obsolete. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen to CJ Ham, but time will tell. And one last thing I wanted to mention on the Vikings side is Christian Darrisaw, our left tackle. PFF has predicted him to be the 2022 Vikings breakout player of the year.
Really?
And he had a 77.8 run blocking grade, and that was fourth best of all tackles in the league.
Jeez.
Of the 11 games he got to play, because he had a few injuries that he was dealing with early on. I think it was a hamstring. Do you remember that, DJ?
Briefly, I think, yeah.
But I thought that's pretty interesting that they're giving love to our rookie left tackle who was taken fairly high last year in the draft at pick 14.
All right, and then we're gonna move on to the coaches. The new coaches that have been signed. Packers sign Rich Bisaccia, which was the Las Vegas Raiders special teams coordinator, and then he took over for John Gruden as interim head coach there, and he did an outstanding job and brought him to the playoffs. But the Packers signed him as their new special teams coordinator, so I think he's going to do a really good job there. And then the Texans decide to hire Lovie Smith over Brian Flores for that head coach job. That one I don't understand. I don't know if I agree with. I mean, I probably would have picked Brian Flores over Lovie Smith, but like they were saying on, I was hearing stuff today. I don't know if you really want to touch Brian Flores with your business right now, just because the simple fact that he's filed lawsuits and stuff. If you sign him as a head coach, you're walking around every day kind of on eggshells, and you don't know if your next move is going to get reported, or you know what I mean? I wouldn't want that kind of anxiety in my building. So I can understand the choice to make Lovie Smith over Brian Flores here. So I remember Lovie Smith back when he was Chicago Bears coach. He was also with Tampa Bay back in the day. So I guess we'll see if he's going to be the guy that turns that team around in Houston. And then the Dolphins, they hire 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel as their new head coach. I believe San Francisco got some incentives as well as in this deal. I don't know the specifics on that. I don't know if you heard about that, JJ.
No, I haven't heard the statistics, but boy, am I excited to see that guy as a head coach. Do you ever hear any of his press conferences?
No, I haven't. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. I haven't listened to anything yet. But
he's just so dang smart, and he was the run game coordinator for Kyle Shanahan's offense. So all that success with Debo running, it just would be exciting to be a Dolphins fan, knowing you're going to have probably that style offense for Jalen Waddle, and they have who knows what they're going to do in Miami, though. I mean, they got Tua, and the way he made it sound is he was excited to go down there to make Tua the best quarterback he could be.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do, and hopefully the owner isn't. Hopefully he's done with the whole trying to pay coaches to lose games, and just lets the coach do his job and try and win games, not lose them. And then the last one, previously hired. We already said that Eric Bieniemy was interviewing for the Saints head coach job. Well, the defensive coordinator for the Saints already, they promoted him up to head coach. So he's just moving up the ladder. Dennis Allen will take over the reins for Sean Payton as Sean Payton stepped down or retired, whatever you want to call it. So I'm kind of curious. I'm not going to say really excited because I don't really know how to feel, but I'm kind of curious to see how Dennis Allen does as a head coach again. I remember back, I believe he was the coach of the Raiders back in the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was, DJ.
Yep. So the one big thing there is what is he going to do for a quarterback? And that cap room.
Yeah, the cap is the big major problem there, but They really, that's it. I think looking at it, they lost their all pro quarterback, Drew Brees. Peyton tried it with trying to duct tape it together with the carousel of quarterbacks and Simeon, and Jameis was doing okay,
Yeah,
but
until
he
he
got
got hurt.
hurt. He got
Yeah.
hurt. I mean, no, quarterbacks are kind of fragile, and that's why when you see a guy like Tom Brady, yeah, the goat, you gotta sit there and look in awe of 22 years, and some of these guys can't even make a one game. So I just think that Dennis Allen's going to keep the schemes that were working for their defense, but I'd like to see him do a lot of changes on their offense. And this whole Alvin Kamara situation, DJ, I don't know what they're going to do. He might be cut, DJ.
Yeah, I don't know. In the back of my head, I feel like that's gonna happen because it just brings me back to the Kareem Hunt thing back in in the past. So so now all of the teams that were looking for head coaches, they all have signed head coaches with one exception. One cannot be finalized until after the Super Bowl, and that is our Minnesota Vikings. Because Kevin O'Connell is the offensive coordinator for the Rams. So we have to wait till the Super Bowl is over for that to be official. But here's all the teams and their new coaches. So we'll just kind of list them off here, recap. The Jacksonville Jaguars picked Doug Peterson to replace Urban Meyer. I'm pretty sure my dad probably could do a better job than Urban Meyer.
Say, DJ, there will be no Mike Zimmer in DC in Jacksonville. They hired Jim Caldwell as their
really?
DC. Yeah. So I wanted you to know that because Rick Spielman, the GM, has taken a upper level management position above the GM down in Jacksonville. I think we kind of talked about that on the last show.
Yep.
That was Doug Peterson was his guy, and most likely, like you said last week, he probably would have been the Vikings head coach if Rick would have stayed.
I don't know. If I was the Jaguars, I would go with Zimmer for DC than Jim Caldwell. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then going to the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus gets the job there. And then we just said that Lovie Smith got the job over Brian Flores there in Houston. And Kevin O'Connell after the Super Bowl. It's not official yet, so we're hoping that nothing backfires. But looks like we're going to get Kevin O'Connell here in Minnesota. The Giants, they hire Brian Daboll. The Raiders sign Josh McDaniels. They finally pry him away from Bill Belichick. And the Dolphins get Mike McDaniel from San Francisco. The Saints promote Dennis Allen up from coordinator position to head coach. And I think this was probably the first hire of a head coach in the whole search. Is the Denver Broncos did the Green Bay Packers' old offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. So I think the biggest one for me, other than the Vikings, the one that excites me the most, to be honest, would probably be that Nathaniel Hackett.
Well, how good has he been 3 years as OC in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers?
Right.
And in the chatter that Rodgers, I know you had a little segment that you were going to mention that Rodgers wants to, or they want him to come back.
Yeah. They, it said, yeah, where did it go? The CEO of the Packers said they really want him back in 2022. But like I said before, it's kind of in Aaron's hands.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants to do is what is going to happen. I still don't really know. I still honestly think he'll stay in Denver, but there's been kind of a little bit of talks that rumors, I don't know if there's truth to them or not. I don't really know who the source was of these so-called rumors, but I've heard that the Packers were willing to give Rodgers a big extension or a big contract or something, but I don't know. I'm still sticking with my guns. I think he's gonna end up in Denver next year.
Well, I sent you a little bit, DJ. I don't know if you remember, but Aaron Rodgers is currently in the process of buying land in Nashville, Tennessee. And I know you squashed it, but you just never know, DJ. There's an opportunity that if he moves to Tennessee that he'd be open to playing for the Titans. But
yeah, but they I don't know. People are saying that it would be hard for Tennessee to pull off as well. So
yeah.
if I was Tennessee, I wouldn't. I would stick with Tannehill, to be honest.
Well, we talk about the openings for the quarterbacks right now. The Saints, obvious, have a glaring hole. And I wanted to share with you, and I know you have a little bit on the Washington Commanders, but the Commanders, with everything that they got new, are set to be selectively aggressive in the quarterback pursuit. And they got names like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. Also included in the names were Derek Carr and Jimmy G. I just, if you want to go ahead, DJ, and then go ahead with the Washington Commanders segment that you had.
I just had a quick thing that the Commanders team president I seen. He said that they will have a new stadium in 2027. So that's pretty interesting, pretty exciting. Seeing another team get a new stadium. A few years after they get a new name and new logo, new uniforms, and this goes back to I believe that was my solo episode when I covered FedEx Field and all the injuries that took place over the years on the same side of the football field. And
yeah,
I mean, it looks like it's cursed, so maybe that would be a good thing to get a new stadium and put it in a different area and not on top of that one. So maybe there'll be fewer injuries when people play for or against the Commanders.
Well, a new team name, a new jersey, a new quarterback, and in 2027 a new stadium. Wow, what a time to be a Washington Commander fan.
Right?
Good God. And Riverboat Ron was saying that he believes in his squad, but they want to have basically tryouts for new quarterbacks. So they're going to be like this. The article said selectively aggressive in the quarterback chase in the free agent pool or whatever, what have you, trying to get somebody big name in there. They were really zoned in on Jimmy G at the $25 million mark. But they were saying that they would tender a first-round draft pick. So, I don't know. Taylor Heineke's there on like a $2.9 million deal right now. He used to be a Viking.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like I said before, maybe they just give Taylor Heineke a different contract, and he's definitely proven himself to be a starter. So I don't know. Do you, if you're Washington, do you stick with Taylor Heineke? I don't know. I guess we'll see what they decide to do here. So one of the last things we'll get to here is there's been rumors that Jameis Winston could go back to Tampa Bay where he was drafted. What are your thoughts on that, JJ?
Well, first off, I would make sure he's 100% healed from his injury because that was a gruesome injury. Wasn't it an ACL knee injury, DJ?
I think so. I'm
Yeah,
not 100% sure.
if I remember right, but I think Tampa's going to make a bigger splash than Jameis Winston, to be honest. But he's probably one of the quarterbacks that he knows the Tampa Bay, he knows the system down there. So if he gets the chance, he better go for it.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's where he started. They kind of didn't really want him there anymore. So if I'm Jameis, I don't really know if I want to go back there. That and plus, going back to replace Tom Brady, I don't know if I want to fill those shoes either. So I don't know. It depends on what Jameis feels like and what if Bruce Arians and Tampa Bay want to go from Tom Brady to bring Jameis Winston back. I don't know. One other thing is quick before we get into this question I have for you. OBJ. We all know he was let go. I think he was let go from the Browns, and then he came to the Rams. He's in the Super Bowl on Sunday. But I recently saw something, I think it was yesterday. He was very, very close to signing with the Patriots or the Saints before ultimately landing with the Rams. Man, it looks like he definitely made the right decision as he is where he's never been before, and that's, the Super Bowl. Adding OBJ to the receiver cores with Kupp, Jefferson, and Higbee, man, that was a good pickup. And like I said before, he's kept himself out of drama and trouble since joining the Rams. So I'm really happy for OBJ. And glad to see he's turned a leaf, so to say, and now he's on the biggest stage of the whole sports world. So I just wanted to put that out there that he could have been a Patriot or a Saint, but he ended up landing with the Rams, and look at where that brought him. He's on the biggest stage. He's in the Super Bowl, and he's probably going to have a big say in that offense in that game. So that was just kind of interesting. I had to throw that in there. And then the next thing is JJ, we kind of talked about this before. Randy Moss said in his prime that he would light up Tyreek Hill. So if you had the two lined up next to each other, Moss in his prime or Tyreek Hill right now or in his prime, I mean, I think he's in his prime right now, but who wins in a 40-yard dash race?
I got 3 words for you, DJ. You got Moss! No, Randy for sure. He's got the longevity with those long strides and a 4.2 natural 4.2 40. Cheetah's all about, pumping and grinding. So I think Randy would stride it out and just beat him by a eyelash. What do you think, buddy?
I mean, these are my two teams, Moss with the Vikings and then Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah with the Chiefs. But I honestly will have to say Tyreek Hill. I have to go with the Cheetah. I don't know. He's got to be the fastest guy, the fastest NFL player I've ever seen. So I got to give it to the cheetah on this one.
I wish I could see that race in real life, DJ. Did you see Did you see when they raced at the Pro Bowl exhibition skills competition? Micah Parsons at 260 pounds took down the 40-yard dash.
Really?
I don't know why Tyreek didn't really seem like he was trying, but Micah, Parsons went all out. He went all out in the competitions, and he went all out in the Pro Bowl. So I'm looking forward to watching number 11 from the Dallas Cowboys this upcoming season. This guy is just wanting to be a really good player.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, Moss was pretty fast, but I honestly think that Tyreek Hill, he's a little faster than Moss was in his prime, in my honest opinion. So, I guess, I mean, that's all I have here. I know we didn't cover anything about the Super Bowl, but that will be in our next episode. Our next episode will be kind of a special Super Bowl episode. Basically, the whole episode is going to be Super Bowl talk. So, we're gonna working on getting a show put together for you for the Super Bowl before Sunday. It'll probably be on Thursday night here. So keep an eye on that as we will dive in and cover the Super Bowl. And I got a few things already, so you won't want to miss that. And we might be doing announcing the details on our t-shirt giveaway in that episode, so you don't want to miss that. So make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our social media pages and YouTube channel. The link is down in the description, so click on that. All of our links are down there. If you ever want to, if you have any comments, questions, send us a message. Send us a comment while we're live. We'll see them live. We can answer them live. So don't be shy. This is DJ and JJ from High Hope Sportscast, and we will see you in our Super Bowl episode on Thursday night.
Peace.